Hello you guys, welcome to another review from Melissa in the Ranting Shop, and today we're going to be discussing Young Famous and African Season 2 Episode 7. So we left off with, last episode we had Zari's party, and we all know that went to trash because Swanky decided he was feeling emotional still about the fact that Bonang is no longer gonna be on this journey. So he is throwing all of his anger at that or about that towards Lewis, right? So in this particular episode, they're going on a trip to Cape Town, right? All of them are vibing, looking good, smelling good, hopefully vibing and so on. Everybody's talking about Swanky. Where is he? We all know that he has to make a fashionably late entrance for some reason. It is precisely what Zari says. He wants to be late because he wants to be the last person there, because he wants to make an entrance, right? Either way it goes, he comes in, right? Sits down, brings a gift for Lewis in a Adidas bag. I don't think the gift was from Adidas, just because the bag looked rumpled and so on. Sometimes you put gifts in bags, but doesn't necessarily come from that brand. Either way, Nadia caught on to she was suspicious because she's like, this is not a Gucci bag or LV bag. So I am suspicious of what's in this bag. The man waits to say thank you, right? He wants to see what's in the bag first because I'm guessing he has his suspicions as well. He goes to open the bag, and on the bag, in the bag is a shirt custom made for Lois that says, "You have 78 different persons in you, be real," which Zari calls out or reads out, which is extremely shady and very disrespectful. After reading that, Louis still says thank you to him. Naked opens. I don't like Naked, you guys. Naked annoys me. He opens his mouth and he's like, oh, whatever he says about Louis. It's clear Naked doesn't like Louis, right? And even when Kaylee was talking to him in the car and he's like, Swanky and Louis, blah, 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 she doesn't even want to tell him her true thoughts and feelings because he ignorant and he's stupid. But I feel like Kaylee kind of doesn't even see why Swanky has the issue with Louis, because Louis has never been the one to start any form of drama with Swanky, honestly. So the whole group is like, that was so shady, that was kind of disgusting. But he's saying that he doesn't care. Then Zari pipes up to say, that was a whole tree that you threw, that was unwarranted, that was shady. And then Swanky is like, oh, Zari, it was a gift. Now he's telling her it's a gift as if it was made out of the goodness of his heart, knowing fully well he gave that gift. He made sure to go to their printers and design that gift with malicious intent. Like, don't blow smoke up people's ass, Swanky. Your gift was not with the purest intentions. You did it to embarrass this man in front of the group. I can't take on the BS. Like, you always talk about being real and all this shit. Right then and there, you were being pretentious and disgusting. Who disrespected Swanky and how did they disrespect Swanky? I'm still confused. I don't know. Alright, so Andile decided he's hearing a lot of stuff and he is hearing that Louis is at the center of everything, even though I don't think Louis is really causing the drama. But anyways, they go to a nice outing with the beautiful Rosette. Oh, I love the lady. She looks so pretty. And they're talking about why Louis is the problem, essentially. So Louis says he got a gift from Swanky, but it was a shitty gift. And Andile is like, and you took it? Well, I think Louis is in a kind of like a very sticky situation right now because he's trying to assimilate into the group. So he cannot, and he's already been in countless different dramas, especially with Swanky. So I guess to not perpetuate the negativity that they would easily like catch from, because of the negative perception with him always being in the drama, I feel like he felt like he had to play the role that he's not the problematic one. That's why he did not react. If he reacted, then people would say something like, oh, Swanky gave him her gift and he was ungrateful. So he kind of, to me, that was the safest way for him to play it. Either way, Fantana is like, I'm hearing stories that you want to get Zari's eggs and you're trying to date. And Louis is essentially saying, well, if you heard something suspicious or weird about me, we are friends. Why not come and speak to me about it directly? And her excuse is, oh, because it was so weird. Exactly. Well, that is exactly why you go directly to the source, especially if what you're hearing sounds weird. Like, make it make sense. And Louis is right. She is easily led. And that's precisely why she acts like she's grown, but she's a kid. So Rosette is being playful with Andile. Now, before Andile, we spoke about that playful part. Andile really makes a good point. Like, for somebody to be so easily led in the name of friendship, and to be honest with you, Fantana and Swanky's friendship is not this long as friendship with so much history. He barely knows Fantana. Fantana barely knows him. Let's keep it real. So yeah, she is coming across very dumb-witted, following people. She has no idea why she's following them. She's just following them. It's stupid to me. And Miss Rosette, oh my goodness. Andile is like, oh, he doesn't know if she's joking or if she's serious. I wouldn't care if she was joking or serious. Play with me all day. She's so pretty. So Nadia is speaking about how she saw Andile and he basically popped up there with both of his women. We saw Rosette at the lunch and apparently Seba is there as well. Anyways, what I'm really interested in is, why is Kani dressed like this? She's literally dressed like Missy Elliott in that video for I Can't Stand the Rain, in basically plastic bag from head to toe, and it's like, why? But I know why. Kani, her skin is bleached, so the sunlight is not her friend. She's like a vampire at this point. If she gets sunburn or anything, it's gonna really damage her bleached skin. So that makes perfect sense as to why she's dressed up and down in a plastic bag. Nadia is acting like she doesn't know she knows. I got really emotional when Louis was pouring his heart out to Andile, who is really the only logical sounding adult in the entire cast. And he basically said, everything and everyone is misunderstanding me. What it is I've been kind of outcast from my family and everyone I know because I did something on TV which the religion I'm in does not agree with. So essentially, he's been alone for a while. Nobody to care for him, nobody to look out for him and say, hey, how are you doing? None of that. So Andile nicely put it in that he wants to be part of a community. He wants to be in something. He wants to be cared for. He wants to be looked after. He wants that feeling, you know, because he doesn't have it, because he doesn't have his family. And that made me so emotional. And of course, Louis is gonna cry because Louis is an emotional guy. And Andile is, if anything, Andile is emotionally intelligent. So he, you know, sheds a couple tears as well, you know, and it makes Andile understand Louis even more. And the reason why I feel like Louis cannot be so vulnerable with the rest of the group is because they don't really care about him that much. They all have their own agendas. Nadia would side with him obviously because she doesn't like Bonang. Swanky doesn't like him because of Bonang. Kaylee, I don't know what Kaylee thinks. Naked doesn't like him. Zari is literally the only person that stands up for him. Kani doesn't really care, because I was unsure last episode whether Louis gave Kani the go-ahead to go tell that to Zari. And now I'm getting the confirmation here that he really didn't tell her to go tell Zari anything. He was just passing something by her to I guess, gauge whether that makes sense for him to do, whether it's too awkward for him to do. Like, I guess he just wanted advice. And she went ahead, told it to Zari. Zari goes, not Zari, sorry. Kani then goes, tells it to Nadia. Nadia then goes, tells it to Fantana, who at the table is like, oh, I don't like him because of eggs and Zari's eggs, and not even knowing the full situation of the story. Either way it goes, it had to happen, and I'm happy that I saw it. And I feel like Andile was the right person for him to, like, say that information to. So Andile feels as if he needs that stability that Louis is lacking. He needs that family. That's what he needs. So he goes to Sabutsi, his second baby mama, and basically tells her, you know what, I'm lonely and I want to be with somebody right now. But that doesn't really sound like he wants her. It just sounds like she's the most convenient person at this moment, and if she says yes, then that's what it's gonna be. But I don't necessarily feel like he wants her, and that's precisely what she gets from it as well. Like, you being lonely doesn't mean I'm supposed to come in and swoop in and save you from your loneliness. Like, I need to be able to know that you want me, and that's why you are gonna pursue me, not that you're feeling lonely. That's super crazy. Andile is saying he doesn't know if he wants to be with her, but he knows he doesn't want to be without her. That sounds crazy to me. At the end of the day, if you know what she wants is a relationship, and you know you don't necessarily want that with her, let her go in that regard. According to what she's saying, you kind of cock blocking her. Let her go in that regard and just be co-parents. Because right now, what I'm seeing here is you're stringing her along when you know fully well you don't want her. It kind of makes sense to me why Sibo doesn't really like Rosette. It's because she was sharing him, Andile, with Rosette for all of her relationship. And likely, like rightfully said, she doesn't want to share him anymore. If they do try a romantic situation, things have to change. You either have to tell Rosette, this is purely co-parents, we can't be flirty or none of that, because I want to respect Siba Batsy. And if he can't do that, then the relationship just can't work. So there's another outing, and first we see Swanky, which is weird. When is he ever first for anything? He's talking about Andile bringing both of his baby mamas being drama, and out of nowhere he comes around and brings Louis's name into things. What does Louis have to do with anything? So Andile is speaking with Swanky and basically telling him, well, you yourself are spreading stuff. You don't even know the root of why he's doing the things he's doing, and he never asked for that information to be spread and for everybody to be talking about it. He said it in confidence to Kani, and it wasn't something that he definitely said he was gonna do. It was something that he thought of doing, but asked Kani for advice on it. And basically Swanky's like, well, if there's such a complex thing behind it, why doesn't he just tell it to the group? Like, be for real. None of these people in the group are his friends, granted Andile included, but at least Andile was willing to give the man a listening ear. None of the rest of you guys, except for Zari, cares to give the man a listening ear, and you want him to break down and be vulnerable in front of y'all? Make it make sense. You wouldn't do that either, Swanky. That's the thing, when speaking on people, y'all never look at yourselves. Y'all always think, oh, I would... and knowing fully well, put in that very same situation, you would react the same way that he is reacting right now. So the least interesting couple, Naked and Kaylee, and also the least interesting cast members, they're talking about their relationship. Kaylee's feeling like, even when he's not a romantic person, so even when he does romantic gestures, she questions it, like, is that really you that came up with that? Which is sad, that she doesn't believe he has that side to him, or he can be that way, because he hasn't been that way for a long time. It kind of makes me feel like it started off, him and Kaylee, as a very casual relationship. Maybe it even started off as a fling that went or dragged onto a situationship, and it's just been that way for a long time. But she's saying that she feels as if the relationship is stagnant and she wants it to be taken to the next step. She doesn't want to be playing games, And he's like, oh, he's thinking about it. He doesn't want anybody else, but he does not want to get married and get divorced. Now, the thing about it is, if you feel like that's that's the only person you could be with, then why not get married to them? If you guys do get divorced, oh well, it's just part of the risk of getting married, Things happen and divorces happen every day. I mean, it doesn't mean you should not do it, But I understand his hesitation in regards to not wanting to get divorced. But either way it goes, then he goes to speak to Kanye about the situation, and Kanye is like, do you see yourself at 70 years old with the same person? He can't even answer the question. And like she says, it's been 3 years. If you can't answer that simple question, if you've not even thought about that question yet, after 3 years, you're not ready to propose to anybody, right? And I feel like he knows he doesn't want to propose to her just yet, but he feels like she's becoming restless. So he's asking Kanye for advice to reassure her, and she's like, do a trailer of what it's gonna be like if you were to get engaged, if you were to get married, so that, like, for your family and friends, so that they could see whatever. And maybe that might reassure her. That might also lead her to think that she might be getting proposed to when she's not getting proposed to. So either way it goes, it's tricky. Just say you want to be with her, but don't want to marry her yet. It's simple. But if the foundation of the relationship was one of a casual situationship, then I understand why she doesn't see the commitment, because it didn't start out in a serious manner. Kanye is kind of right. Like, Swanky is talking about, oh, you have to sort out drama with Louis. Louis is really not the drama, It's all coming from Swanky, honestly, because he does not like Louis because of Bonang. And it is what it is. And it's crazy how we're on episode 7 and it's being dragged out for like 3 episodes now. At this point, I'm sick of this conversation. So, they're on a boat ride. Why does Swanky feel like he deserves to hear the real story from Louis when it has nothing to do with him? I mean, I would have expected this if it was coming from Zari. But this is coming from Swanky. This has absolutely nothing to do with Swanky. My thing about it is, Swanky, who are you for this man to have to explain himself to you? Who are you? It's kind of annoying me that Louis is actually taking his time to explain things to Swanky. It's pissing me off. Swanky, you're making everything as big of a deal as it is. So don't come there and act like everybody in the group is all up in arms and angry and protesting. It's mostly only you. So Louis went and he broke all his sad story to the group, kind of forcibly, because I guess Swanky was making such a big deal of it. He's like, tell everybody your business. Either way, he told everybody, and I guess they're more receptive of him. Swanky turned. Swanky became a hater to now a lover. Now he's tapping Louis on his back, encouraging him to speak. This is crazy to me. This was the fastest flip I've ever seen in my life. Either way, the group hopefully gets a better understanding of why he wants what he wants and why he acts the way he acts. But one thing I will definitely commend Zari for is never judging Louis. Even though she was hearing all this crazy stuff about him, she never judged him. She was always willing to hear him out and hear his perspective before saying hers. I think she kind of has a soft spot for him, not romantically, but more so maybe as a big sister. And I like that about Zari. But also, when Zari was talking and saying that's why people shouldn't judge because they don't understand people's stories, why was my favorite Miss Rosette piping up and telling Zari, no, that's you should speak for yourself? No, she meant the group. and not you, Miss Rosette. Miss Rosette, you just joined the group. Of course, she was not really referring to you, but she meant the majority of the group members were acting in a way that was kind of harsh towards Louis. Okay, Miss Rosette, pipe down, my love, okay? So it ends on a really nice note. Everybody's come off the gondola and you're looking at the beautiful view of Cape Town, South Africa. They've seen an overview of Table Mountain. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful day. Swanky's talking. All of a sudden now he's in a cherry mood and he's saying this is a perfect place for Kaylee to be proposed to by Naked. Gives Naked one of his rings, and Naked actually goes on his knees to Kaylee's surprise, and that's where it left off. Let me know what you guys thought about this particular episode. Like, subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye bye.